In today's story, we witness the actual ending of Season 2. Some say it goes out with a bang, others say it goes out with a whimper. Personally, I'm just glad we have one less villain on the show constantly rambling about his vague established plans to rule the world. Well, at least for a while.
Funny.
You better get ready to do a heel turn on my fellow feature outlaws. This is Card Games vs. Humanity, and I'm that NKK with a recap of the ending of Season 2 of Duel Monsters. I'm sure Series 3 will be nothing but a classic series of duels that everyone will thoroughly enjoy, and we will definitely not get derailed by any obscure plot points whatsoever. So if you enjoyed, don't forget that sub, that bell, that like, and give me some fucking money on Patreon, why don't you? Leave a comment telling me if you're just as annoyed as I am that Bakura basically handed Merrick over the card that he needed to win this duel. Like, seriously, man, He's just so bad at dueling. And if you need any more proof, then just look at how Bakura's way too happy right now to be holding Ra despite having no ability to summon it on the turn that he was actually able to bring out 3 monsters, because that's not a vulnerable situation. Marik tells basic bitch Merrick that he should just shut up and thank him. That if it wasn't for him, that he wouldn't even know how to use his rod correctly, and after hearing this, I have to agree. If it wasn't for him, he wouldn't have been able to fulfill his desires of killing his father in cold blood and escaping to the outside world.
I'm sorry, Merrick, but your ranting has become tiresome.
I could have told you that 30 fucking episodes ago. Only 30 cards into Merrick's deck, and we finally see a new card activated, Vengeful Bog Spirit, forcing all monsters on the field to wait 1 turn before attacking, something that I'm sure Ra would definitely care about anyway. Speaking of Ra, Bakura makes his attempt to tribute summon for the beast, but unfortunately for him, Merrick has what might be the single most fake-looking card that we've seen yet. Apparently called Joyful Doom, with an artwork that just makes you say, Jesus, they weren't even trying, were they? That takes away the attack points of the monsters that are about to be tributed, something that would be almost completely useless in any other situation besides maybe Great Maju Gazette. Also, don't pay any attention to why there's no sphere mode this time. Despite having 0 attack, Ra still has 3,450 defense, is unaffected by almost everything, and can still pop monsters, so I don't know about you, man, but I'd roll with it.
Why didn't you warn me that this might happen?
I wasn't aware he was holding that trap card, you fool!
Well, that's because it's a fake card and doesn't actually exist, so I guess that means I have to give you a pass on this one. Just then, without warning, we get a sneak peek of your average 2 a.m. conversation between Yugi and Taya.
It's kind of late, Taya. Can't this wait till morning?
Boy, you know it can't. Marik takes his turn and attacks with Julago, the actual MVP of this duel, destroying Bakura's Puppet Master before ending his turn. And because he totally wants to, and not because Kaiba did it first. Bakura tributes a literal god of a monster with invulnerability and monster destruction for Dark Ruler Haddad. A decent beat stick of a monster that kind of ends up doing nothing. So look at the freaking cards that Merrick has in his hand right now. Pot of Greed, Bakura's dumbass Monster Reborn, Card of Last Will, and Maki Aura. It's almost like Kaiba should have set some rules and regulations for this tournament. You know, just a couple. Ra has 0 attack, so it must be useless. Giving up on it already despite using a monster called Puppet Master with 0 attack that just summoned 3 monsters to try to bring it out in the first place. Maybe it would have been a good idea to assume that Ra had other useful effects, but now I'm just going to tribute it and then bring out Dark Necrofear instead.
Next, I shall activate my magic burial card.
Say it with me now. Premature burial. Premature burial. Say it with me now. Say it with me now. Say it with me now! All these decent monsters with no back row removal to speak of. It would be such a shame if Bakura committed all these summons on a turn that he can't attack. Surely that he wouldn't be such an idiot to do something like that, would he? Having another man inside him for too long already, him and Merrick start bickering like an old married couple. Claiming that it's Merrick's fault that they weren't able to summon Ra, even though they did, and Marik just had the fakest card in existence to halt it. It's just in, it seems this duel is being put on hold as new challenger John Cena has arrived to fight Merrick. I believe we have some footage.
I can barely see you over there.
We head back to the Kaiba lab, where Seto is doing his best to figure out any weaknesses to the Winged Dragon of Ra. Using this highly advanced supercomputer to run the numbers, he discovers that the Crush card combo only has a 13% chance of victory. This is definitely a computer program that wasn't a waste of taxpayer money. Conveniently, Kaiba is now going over the very special abilities of Ra that not even high-ranking members of the Ishtar family knew about. So it makes perfect sense that the Kaiba Corp database has information on them at the exact moment that Merrick is about to unleash them.
And winning Slifer will be simple.
You sure about that? In the equivalent of a card that you created yourself at home, Ra has special abilities that aren't even on the text of the card. So luckily, the Kaiba Corp database knows all about it, or else we'd all be in a real bind trying to figure it out. Conveniently learning about it at the same time that Merrick's about to activate it, Instant Attack, an ability that clearly needs more explanation to explain what it does. Despite wanting to do nothing more than sleep, Taya and Yugi are seen riding in the elevator together looking for Bakura because he's taking up screen time, and that's just not allowed even if Yugi's busy off-screen sleeping. We reach the top of the dueling arena to find a giant ball of purple fog surrounding the current duelist that must be Merrick and Bakura.
Yugioh!
Oh man, it's been like 23 episodes since he screamed Yu-Gi-Oh during a transformation sequence. You know this must be an important moment. AKA he tells Taya to back off, bitch. The main characters are fighting right now. I don't care if you refuse to leave. You have no powers for anything. Back to our exciting duel that's been maybe 5 turns. Eric activates the monster reborn that a certain dipshit should have never kept in his hand. Bringing back Raw, that shitty beast stick with 0 attack points that you gave up on. Telling them both to get ready to witness instant attack because I guess you just have to say it and now you get to do it and that's it. Without warning, those shadow effects start to fly off of Marvik's body like he's got his own pyro crew or something. Activating the second hidden ability of Raw known as point-to-point transfer. It does sound like some cool new quantum mechanics process, but it's actually just a life point effect, giving it all but 1 to the mighty creature. Raising the winged dragon of Raw's attack points all the way up to 8549, pissing everyone off with the amount of math that they're gonna have to do after this battle phase. Marvik launches his powerful attack, destroying all of his monsters right away before completely incinerating Lesser Merrick because I guess Bakura just left him on the field and didn't tell anyone about it. After that attack though, Bakura seems to be fading away into a dark fog, claiming the same thing every emotional teenager has written down in their journal at least once in their life.
Don't you realize that I am the darkness? It means I can't be destroyed.
Disappearing into the shadows, he drops a Millennium Ring on the ground. Just right when Yugi decides to enter after everything's already done, I can pretend I just got here. Oh, by the way, Merrick's body switching is so good that it literally stays in the previous host like he's a tuffle or something.
So, how long have you been here?
What are you talking about? Yami Yugi just got here. I wasn't talking with Taya for like 10 minutes. Head back to Shizu's room where she seems to be having a very bad dream right now. Luckily for her, Taya is very slutty and shows up at her room for their 3 a.m. booty call. Oh wait, never mind. It's actually Merrick, who is just as slutty, but he's in a bit of a pickle right now because his only spirit is left inside of Taya and he's not sure how long he can go inside a woman's body and remain confused like this. Then it's revealed that the spirit of the Millennium Ring is still around, hidden inside the puzzle, trying to figure out its deepest, darkest secret. Don't you remember when I did this 45 episodes ago? Don't you remember that we can just put our spirit into anyone or anything that we choose? Marvik goes into Odeon's room to finish the 15-second job that he couldn't do twice already, only to find him missing. However, will I find him on this blimp that only has maybe a day's worth of hiding options? But wait, it's almost dawn already and we're heading to the Battle City final. The island where Seto left his father in ruins, aka killed him in cold blood. Also, that giant phallic tower over there, that's a reminder of my power. I don't have an issue or anything.
It won't be long now, Mokuba, before I prove to the entire world that there is no one on Earth who's superior to me.
And that, my friends, is literally how Season 2 ends, with Kaiba saying I'm better than everyone. Sounds about right. Well, that's it for this episode. I want to thank you all for watching and, of course, a shout out to all my patrons. I hope you're all ready for the next episode. You know, the one where we all land on Kaiba Island and everything just goes according to plan. Nice couple duels. World gets saved. Nothing gets derailed. Can't wait. This has been Man from Earth with all the girth, ladies and gentlemen. Screw the rules. I have green hair. Maybe it would have been, maybe it, you know, maybe consider the just then without warning we get your average, just then without warning we get, just then without all these decent monsters with no back row, all these decent monsters with no, all these decent monsters, oh my god, we're back to bad again.